Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you the third and probably last 6 Samurai deck in a while. I'm still gonna use 6 Samurai on stream, but I don't think I'll make another video. This is what I've been using in the KC Cup. This is the third version of 6 Samurais, and the one that I hadn't showed. I used this on my climb to King of Games. This is not what I King of Games with, but this I want to say I ranked down from Legend 3 to Legend 2, and I used this to get back to Legend 3. And then at some point I switched to my other one and ended up getting the win streak that I needed. But we're not going to go into a whole lot of detail because you guys already know what the cards do. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about matchups instead. So, we have Dojo, United, Kisan, 2 Inishi, your 1 Kizaru so that you can search whenever he's special summon. And then obviously the 3 Fuma. For tech cards, we have 1 Treacherous. I don't really like 6 style dual wield a lot because I feel like every time I have that card, I'm limiting myself. Instead of going for a full field, whether it's Shien, Inishi, and Kisan, or Shien, Afuma, I tend to hold back when I'm using 6 style just so that I can activate the 6 style. And I didn't like that, so I'm not running any 6 style. I'm running 1 Treacherous, 1 Enemy Controller, 1 Offerings. This is just a push. They're all one-offs that you can easily get to because you're drawing a lot of cards with United. And then Cunning of the 6 Samurai is so good. This card is insane. I should have probably used it before, but in this particular version it works so well. Basically, you can send 1 face-up 6 Samurai monster you control to the graveyard, target 1 6 Samurai monster in either player's graveyard, special summon that target. So as long as there's a 6 Samurai in your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard, you can activate this card. And because the sending the monster is the cost, you can actually just get the monster right back. So you can, for example, you can negate with Shien, send him to the graveyard, summon him back, and then negate again if you have to. You can dodge stuff. It's just a really good card. It helps you push for game. Another tech card, I'm pretty sure I had it in all my builds, but we have Mistworm. Really easy to go into here. All you need is 2 level 4s and your Fuma. 1 Armades. I'm not running any level 6 because Wayne is insane in this deck. There's a lot of situations, normally you kind of tunnel vision sometimes when you're playing 6 Samurais. But depending on the matchup, going for Shien is not always the most optimal play. A lot of times it's going to be Armades, a lot of times it's going to be Wayne, believe it or not, because he'll help you push for a game. There's times when I can go into a Shien and that'll be my turn, or I can go into Wayne, special summon either Inishi and Kizaru, and if I have a Cunning of the 6 Samurai, then I can float him for a double attack. It's just so good to have Wayne as as that tool monster for when you're trying to push for game. If we had a 6 spot, I would put Stardust Warrior, but yeah, unfortunately we're still only at 5. So some people were wondering, how does this deck deal with Yubel? And I feel like it's really easy in 6 Samurais. All you need is Inishi or your Offerings to the Doom. And well, one way you can stop Yubel is stop Yubel before it gets to the field. So that means negating field spells with Shien, going into your Armades to destroy any Yashkas. But if you already have a Terra Incarnate on the field, what you want to do is activate Inishi, activate Offerings, or activate something like Treacherous Trap Hole during as a Chain Link 2. And in 6 Samurais, that's really easy because you have a ton of cards to activate. So you can activate 6 Samurai United, chain Offerings or Inishi, and then it'll miss the timing. They won't be able to summon the third phase. You can also do it when you send United with a counter from the field to the graveyard. Just chain to that. And same goes for Dojo. So it's pretty easy to make Yubel miss timing with the boy Inishi, or like I said, stop it before it even begins, whether that's negating field spells or destroying Yashkas with Armades. And that's what I meant. You have to know the matchup. Going in with 6 Samurai, you can't just you can't wire your brain to always go for the same play, because yeah, there's staple plays, normal routes that, you know, that's what I call it. But it really depends on what you're going up against to what kind of play you want to do when. And that's personally what I like about Six Samurai. Not a lot of people are hating it because it's, you know, it's the newest meta. But it's a fun deck, man. It's not, in my opinion, it's not as automatic as Kawaki was. Kawaki was always the same, you know. Earn Knight, special summon a negation, and then Maximus, pop, go for game. This deck definitely provides more interaction in my opinion. So we have a pretty good starting hand. We're just gonna go Fuma, Kisan into Shien, and we're gonna set our cunning. So in this particular instance, our cunning is counter protection. And look at this: Econ, negate, Econ take, cunning, so I can float my Shien, and that's it. That was his play to counter. Cunning took care of it, and now we just win. You got a dojo, tie that binds. Nice Canadia. Let me negate that real quick. And I still had a treacherous that didn't even come into play. So this deck went 12-1 from DLV 10 to DLV 15, which I guess is not that impressive. The only game I lost to a Weevil running the Princess deck, and I literally had 7 spells. Do I even have 7 spells? Yeah, I had 7 spells. So I didn't get a single monster in like 3 draws, and by that point I couldn't stall anymore, and he just OTK'd me. But here we're going up against Tyrano. That was a rank up match. Also, I stopped climbing at 15 because I want to save some of the climb for tomorrow's stream. I won't be able to stream tonight. That's why you guys are going to get this video instead. But we're definitely streaming tomorrow night, and we'll be doing some KC Cup. So we got a basic Shien play. I'm going to go ahead and use Dojo to put a Fuma on the field. Special summon Kisan. And because this is Dinos, I was thinking, okay, I can negate Canadia, I can negate Morella, or I can negate a Survival Lens. Putting 2 negations on the board seemed like the best way to go about it in this duel. But guess what my opponent top decks? And look at this. It is the top deck. I looked. Off the top of the deck, Lava Golem. To get rid of both of my Shien, and I was like, okay, you know, props to you. You have a Lava Golem in your Dino deck. I hope it doesn't hurt your consistency. Turns out it did, because after I summoned this this Armades, because I'm out of Shiens, he can't do anything with that one trap. And I end up using his own Lava Golem to get rid of the rest of his life points. That was kind of a funny duel. I know some people were probably glad to see both of those Shien get eaten by Lava Golem. And now we have a Bandit Key. I think there's a mirror match, but I specifically tried not to get a lot of Six Samurai matchups because I feel like that's how my last video was, and I was trying to get different gameplay here. But we have double United, we have Kisan and Inishi, so a pretty busted hand. I'm gonna top deck into a Cunning and an Offerings. My opponent's gonna set 3 back row, so we're just gonna activate Dojo. Normal summon the normal summon my Fuma, and my opponent flipped DNA Surgery. So DNA Surgery, what does when you're playing against Six Samurais is it'll stop your Shien play, because you no longer control warriors, and you need a warrior for a warrior tuner in order to go into Shien. But I have 2 level 4s and a level 1, so I'm gonna go into Mistworm, bounce all that back row, and I had so many ways to get lethal here. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna special summon a Fuma, but I'm still gonna go over the other plays I could have done. So we're gonna hit him for 27, check for a Kribo, deal 400 damage. That's obviously not lethal. So I'm gonna activate Offerings to the Doom, destroy my Fuma. I get to special summon a monster from the deck. I can attack with this monster after I get my search, and say he had a Kuribo here that he was just holding on this whole time. I still have a Cunning of the Six Samurai, so there's so many attacks within this deck available because of your Conan of the Six Samurai. And that's why I like offerings too. Sometimes offerings and treacherous can be kind of clutch. You know, destroying your own Fuma for an extra, a special summon. Going up against Tryhard 7. Going first. Pretty good opening hand because of the enemy controller. I decided not to use my counter here. I didn't know what I was going up against, and I was like, if it's the mirror match, I'll be fine. But a Fuma in attack mode is never bad because they still have to get through it, right? So they're gonna destroy by battle or destroy by card effect, and you're gonna get to special summon a monster. So even though this looks like a pretty weak opening, Fuma is just that good. We're going up against vampires. He's going to send, you know, your familiar or retainer actually. So I'm gonna special summon Kizaru, get my search. Now I have 2 counters on United, so I can get maximum advantage from that. He's gonna go Vampire Takeover here because he doesn't want me to special summon Shien and then negate it. But we already have game at this point, so we're gonna go Shien. I'm sorry, we're not gonna go Shien. See how my brain was like, oh yeah, you go Shien all the time. Like this, at this point, Shien doesn't do anything for me because I don't have anything to negate. I can't special summon anything else other than something from the deck, and I'm pretty sure I've already used. I think there's one Fuma left in the deck. But anyway, we're gonna go Wayne, special summon Inishi, use Dojo to get a Fuma on the field. Now that I have a 6 Samurai monster, I can activate Inishi's effect. We're gonna bounce back that Vampire Grace because it's in my way of lethal. Now we can special summon Shien, activate Tadai Bands, destroy 1 monster, and we have the Econ take. Even if I didn't have the Econ take, I also have Cunning of the 6 Samurai, so I can float the Shien and do an extra attack. But you know, at that point it's just over. And you know, you might be saying, okay, you had offerings, you had Econ. Those are both one-offs, but because of United and because of how much deck thinning you do, you know, with the deck itself, between the dojos and the United, you'll get to those cards. It's not like you'll never draw into the tech cards. And this was probably my rank up match to 15. Is this a Yubel deck? Please tell me it's a Yubel deck so I can talk about the mistiming shenanigans. So here, I just wanted to get my draws. Every time I'm able to dojo into a double Fuma, even though I have one in hand already, so I cannot special summon anymore, to me it's worth it because I'm either gonna get a back row to protect myself, or I'm gonna draw into hopefully a Kisan that I can special summon and go into Shien. I get neither, but I get a United, so yeah, it is a Yubel deck. Alright, so Ultimate Nightmare is gonna go back to the hand to get a Yubel. I mean, back to the deck to get a Yubel to the hand. Gishki Chain, something I haven't seen in Yubel decks, but it makes sense if you don't have Sonic Bird or Senju. So he's gonna go Rebirth of Nephthys right away into a Devotee. Devotee is gonna special summon a Disciple, and then Disciple is gonna destroy the Yubel, so to get Incarnate into the field. And we're feeling okay about this because, first of all, they're attacking into my my Fuma, so I'm gonna get a special summon here. I didn't want to special summon Inishi because obviously Terror Incarnate is gonna wipe the whole board, and I wanted to have Inishi because that's how I'm gonna get rid of this Terror Incarnate. And that's why, even though you only run 2, it's really easy to get to your Inishis because of Fuma. So we're gonna special summon a Kisan. It's gonna wipe the board. My Fuma is gonna get, my second Fuma is gonna get an Inishi on the board. I get to draw 2, but I waited to draw 2 until I had my second 6 Samurai on the field, because now my Inishi effect is live, and that's what I was talking about. All you have to do is chain it to something else. You can even chain it to Terror Incarnate's effect. Your monster's gonna get destroyed, but you'll still bounce it and they won't be able to special summon anything because they're missing time. So Inishi is gonna send that back as a chain link 2. We get some draws, and now we just have to finish and try to go for game here. So we're gonna activate Shien's Dojo, go for Wayne, and once again I can't special summon anything anymore because I've already used my 3 Fumas. So I could have gone, if I still had a Fuma in the deck, I could have gone Shien, special summon a Fuma, and then go for my Cunning of the 6 Samurai play. But because I'm out of Fumas, I have to summon this Inishi in my hand. The only way I can do that is by using Wayne. Tie that binds. And huge misplay here. Huge misplay for my opponent. I don't know why they decided to take the 23 instead of the 19. But that gave me the win. Because had he Kuribo'd this Wayne, I wouldn't have been able to do lethal. But he took the 23, Kuribo's my Inishi. So now I can activate Cunning. Special summon that Inishi again. And that's the game. So that's how you play around Yubel. You don't really need to tech anything because the deck can find a way to Inishi is the way to deal with Yubel within the deck itself. And then, you know, if you have your offerings and your treacherous, that's just icing on the cake. But yeah, I think this is probably the strongest versions out of the 3 of them. But I really like using Kagemusha and Kageki. So that's still probably my favorite version, even though this is, it looks like it's a little bit better. That's gonna be it for me though. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description. Along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Catch me on the stream tomorrow. We're gonna be doing some KC Cup. I'll try not to rank beyond like 17 if I play at all tomorrow at work. And yeah, that'll be it. Till next time.